Hey everybody, and welcome to Keyboard Skills Pro. My name is Tom Horton. I'm a professional musician here in the UK, and it's my great pleasure now to bring you a free piano lesson here on the channel today. And in this lesson we're going to learn Johann Sebastian Bach's Prelude in C. Now this is a cracking piece of music. First thing to understand is that the Bach repertoire often has an index number. And there's Haydn's index number, Mozart's number, and it's like a library number so people know which piece you're talking about. This one is BWV939, and it comes from a collection of small pieces which were designed for starter keyboard players, but really this one's about grade 3 level, Associated Board, London College of Music. Let's head right to it. So let's take a look at the beginning. And we can see that we have nothing in the key signature. That means we are in the good old key of C major. Let's play our C scale to refresh our memory of that particular set of notes. There we go, the C major white note scale. It's also written in 4/4 time. At the beginning of this copy we've got another C, and that means common time. Common time is the easy way of writing 4/4, and basically in simple terms it means that most pieces in the world are written in 4/4. That's how it became called common time. Okay, so let's take a look first of all at the first line, and before we start actually playing the piece we need to get into some prepping of the harmonies. So we need to get used to the harmonies that are actually playing. So first of all, let's take a look at this chord here on the music, and you can see that we have got C going to E, going to G, going to B flat. Now that's a C7 chord. I want you to practice that chord in two ways: stacking the notes one after the other and playing them as blocks. Now you need to memorise that chord shape because that's the first chord in the song that Bach uses. It's a C chord with a flat 7, and that's that B flat. So we call that C dominant 7th. The next bar is an F chord, but we're going to start on the C and we're going to play the F, the A and the C. So there's the F chord, but we're going to keep the C at the bottom. That's an inversion of the F chord. This is actually the second inversion. So again, stack them, look, C, F, A, C, and also play them as a block. So memorise that shape. We then got the G chord, G, B, D, with F on the top to turn it into a G7 chord. Now that sounds like it wants to go somewhere, just like the C7. Okay? And that's called a dominant 7th. It's a chord that moves the music on, dominant 7ths. So C7, F major with C at the bottom, and G 7 like that. And practice jumping around till you can memorise those chords as blocks or strums. And that's something you want to spend a little time on first of all to get those in your head. So learn those as block chords, because now when we show you the first line of the music, you can then see that we don't have any chords at all. And you're probably thinking, Tom, why have I just spent a whole day learning those? Well, this is why. Because chords are not just played as blocks, they can also be broken up into melodic patterns. There we go, look, there's a little C chord, look. Bottom to top to bottom. Let's do top down. Okay, so now we're getting the idea that that C chord can also be broken up. And let's actually look at the first bar now. We've got a rest, a half a beat rest, so it's 1 and 2 and back down. That's a broken C chord. That's why we just practice doing that. But why did we do the B flat? Because Bach uses it at the end to move the music neatly onto an F chord. So here we go, look, so C, and then up to the top note of that chord, B flat to G. And that G then steps very neatly to our A note, which is the one of the notes of the next chord, the F chord, but with C in the bass, look. So then we go C, sorry, A, C, F, A, F, C, then a big octave. There's that C at the top, look. And look at all the notes in that bar, look, are all that chord you just learned. Da, 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 dum. And I can just follow the shapes up and down. Now I need to get my hand a bit higher, B on the fourth finger there, and then I'm going to put my thumb on the G, and then I've got my G7. Up the hill, down the hill, hop to the top, and then we finish on a C chord. So that is the opening. That's got to be very smooth, very controlled. The left hand supports all of that with a very big octave C. And you want to come in on that reasonably strong, not too strong, but reasonably strong, so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, still going and stop. And there's enough resonance there if you put enough energy in to keep it going. So let's walk the chords through slowly. There's the C chord, B flat, A, then the F chord, and then up to B with the fourth finger, bring your thumb to the G, open it up, top F, and then you're on top, look, of a C chord in second inversion. There you go. Okay, so let's walk that through a little quicker now. F chord, G chord, seventh, resolve, and at the end there, look, he goes C, C7 goes to F, F goes to G, and G7 goes to C. So it's very, very great cadences, all nicely worked out. Okay, so at the beginning, once you get that speed up, it has to be very smooth. So it's 1 and. Some people hold the first note first and go 1 and. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. I shouldn't really be counting in twos there, but I like to count in twos. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and gliding, look. See how the hand, look, I've really prepped the hand out. 4, 1, 5 and finish. There you go, that's how that first bit has to go. Big sound. Perpetual motion in music. Okay, now once that's finished, you've got this C chord, so we're on the end of the first line now in this copy. You're going to bring your hand up and you're then going to repeat some of these chords now, but using the left hand. So the left hand's going to become our broken chord pattern. And what have we got here? Look, C, E, G, E, C, C, E. Well, that's all C chord, look. And he just uses the top C for a bit of variety. So we hold the C chord here, look, bring it in on the rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and then we're going to play that same chord again, but with C dropping to E. 4 and. Notice there's 2 rests there, look, that's because we want to lift that chord up. Off. Jump. I quite like for that to be staccato. 1 and 2 and breath. And then what we do, we bring the bottom note and the top note together. Okay, like that. So you're playing like that, maybe like that, bring them together. 1, 3, 4, and that's a D7 chord. D, F sharp, A, C. Not all the notes are being used. This hand is playing a broken D chord, but we start on an F sharp. Here we go. 1, D major, off, and just like the C chord, play the C chord again with the D and the F sharp. Now that is a cadence, an ending. It's got to resolve. So 1 and 2 and breath, punch. It is a 1 beat. I quite like to staccato that. And then resolve to G major. Because again, it's going the end. So lots of 5-1 cadences going on there. Okay, so that's a nice place to get to, the start of bar 6 in this copy. By the way, folks, if you'd like to get a copy of this, there's loads of obviously free versions on the internet. I've actually found a nice one off a website which I've annotated, and I've popped this on my Patreon page. So if you head over to patreon.com/keyboard skills pro, sign up for silver level, and you can get access to this PDF, but with my notes and annotations on that'll help you with this lesson. So hopefully you'll support the channel by heading to patreon.com. So here we go then, big opening C note, and of course originally this would have been played probably on the harpsichord or a clavichord, maybe an organ. So, but we're playing on the piano for today. Quaver, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and C chord. Bring your hand up the octave, so 1 and 2 and 3. C chord again, D7 with the F sharp, and then the D chord again, resolving to G major. Now, what he then does, because he's got that G chord, he's going to make use of it. So you go 1, nice and short, 1 and 2 and, so it's 1 and 2 and G major. Then we go to this little E minor chord. So just the D, look, goes up to E at the end there. So it sort of flips the other side, doesn't it? B to E. So dum ba 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 bum ba. And then we've got an A minor passage. Now remember that common pattern where he starts at the bottom, goes to the top of the hill, down the hill. Here it is in A minor, look. So listen, look, but big A octave to really set the sound of A up. There's the A minor chord, and then the G and the E, the G creates the 7th. So again, look, you could practice that chord, look. There it is, look. A, C, E, G. Learn the chord as a block. A minor 7. That's in bar 7 of this copy. You'll see the annotation there if you've downloaded the PDF. Da, 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 da. There we go, look. So A minor, and then a 7th. And whilst we're holding this, don't lift it up, look. Go to the F sharp, and then we're going to play a D chord. Da, da, da. And then when we play the 7th, that's the C, look. So again, look at that chord, look. All the notes in that bar, D, F sharp, A, F sharp, D, C, A. There it is, D major, but it's D dominant 7, not D major 7, it's D dominant 7, different sound. So, back to bar 7, A minor, broken chord, dominant 7th, and then hold the chord, play the F sharp, lift, there's the D chord, and then there's the 7th, and then we're going to go to G and B. Okay, so we'll pause there, and let's play through now the first 2 lines. Keep the tempo steady. You must learn this piece steady because it's a very muscle memory piece. You've got to learn the sequences, the changes, and the beauty of the harmonic structural flow of this piece. Here we go. C chord, C to D7, D7 to G, and finish. A minor, 7th, and then hold, lift, D to, there we go. So that's sounding fantastic, I think, really great sound. And you can almost learn it at a section at a time if you want, but listen to how, you've got to listen to hear where he's going. And it's fun just to play through like this. Just play block chords and static chord shapes like that. There we go. Okay, let's now take a look at line 3. So this is bar 9 in my copy. Now, in the left hand, we've got some G octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's nice and easy. Above each note is a little squiggle with a line through it. That is a lower mordent. A mordent is a kind of decoration. They're like trills or grace notes. Little decorations. But a mordent is a specific one. I quite like to mordent down to the F sharp. That's got a good sound to it. Because all this kind of passage, I sort of feel is sort of leaning towards G. It's all in G major, so I quite like to keep the F sharp. And what you do is, first of all, play this without the mordents. Okay, so da 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 da, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da 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 and chord. So that's the first thing to do. And again, let's look at the right hand now. What chords are we playing? Well, we've got B, G, B, D, B, G, F. Aha, it's G7. Remember that technique of earlier? So again, learn this bar as a block, look. And then the next bar, E, G, C, E, G, D, G. That's a C chord, but with G's at the top and the bottom. The next bar, F sharp, A, C, F sharp, C, A, top A. Aha, it's a D. That's a D7 chord. There's no D, but it's D7. That's the 7th, the C. Okay? So again, look. G, G7, C major, D7, G. So if you learn those bars as block chords, you'll find it very easy. Because if you're playing them broken, your fingers are in the same place as if you're playing them as blocks. So learn them as blocks first. So here we go, let's walk through them. So we've got the G with the B. Now this is the line you're going to have to spend a bit of time on. But let's leave these little decorations out first. So we're going to go 1 and then we're going up the hill as we go down the bass. Back down the hill. So it's contrary sort of motion going on there. Bass goes down as the chord, broken chord goes up. Bass comes up, chord goes down. Now here's the 7th. Now we're into the E, which starts our C chord, and you can see, look, that same contrary motion, very pleasant on the ear, and then swing your forefinger around, look. But isn't it amazing how that F sharp goes against that G? That doesn't play it without, look. Ugh. But when Bach does it, your head goes, oh, what a lovely clash. Stretch the octave, and then up to G for that chord there. So that's the trick with that section. Learn it as block chords, and then you'll find it very easy to break them into the broken chord pattern. So once again then, 3rd line. Up and down. Then bring that contrary motion. As one hand goes up, the other one goes down. So that's a section, you're going to have to practice that. Okay, so once you've got that, you then need to put these little twiddly bits in. And what you need to do is go da-da-dum, bum. I like to put these into pairs, so go da-da-dum, bum, lift, da-da-dum. So it's going like this now. So you're going to go on the first note of the right hand, you need to go da-da-dum as quick as you can. So it's going like this in slow motion. So I'm really fast, like, getting back to the G as soon as I can. The little the decoration doesn't interfere with the flow of the music. That's what it must not do. So eventually you could hold the G, push the F sharp and let go. That's another technique some people do. I quite like to lift them up. So it's as quick as you can, like da-da-dum, da-da-dum, and then down and lift. If you lift your hand off the bottom G once you've played it, it sort of resets your hand for the next Mordent. Da-da-dum, very fast, like the Bach. Da-da-da, it's that. So lift off the bass look, okay? Lift. Just lets you reset your hand. And then G major, broken chord, F, D, G7. You see it's going on somewhere. So bar 9 again, look. 1 and 2 and. But you need to think of a word there like, I don't know, really quick, you know, really quick. You'd say that, really quick. Come on, let's go, really quick. Really quick, really quick. But it's just a little clip of the F sharp. G major, broken chord, B with the F. Okay, so we've got the last line to come. So that's sounding, I think, really cool now. Let's take the whole thing through from the first line. Here we go. And actually, let's go back, turn the clock back a bit and play it on a harpsichord. Oh, that's sounding the business, isn't it? What about that, hey? Or maybe on a church organ. Lots of fun there. So you can see it can be learnt in blocks, but by learning it in blocks, also learn the chords as blocks. You know, all those chords, left hand. So you know when you land on them, your hand springs open to a chord shape. And then breaking them up is very easy. G major. Now, the last line, and I hope you're enjoying this video, everybody. If you're enjoying this lesson, there's loads of free piano lessons here on my channel. Organ, theatre organ, keyboard, music theory. If you're enjoying it, I'd love to get you as a subscriber, so please just take a second to hit the subscribe button and ding the little bell, and that way you'll know every time on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Fridays that we do something on the channel, you'll get notified in your inbox or on your app. The last line, gang, goes like this. Did you blink and miss it? Maybe. Well, how does that work? Well, we've just finished on the G chord, look, after our Mordents, and then we're in a G major passage, but we now need to get back to C major, so he uses F natural to create the dominant G chord, and then this is the pattern. Look at the left hand here, look, it starts on a note and then drops to the hill chord. Up the hill and down. Then he often does a big jump and then drop to E to F. So that's a C chord, look. There we go, look. Da 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 da. Okay, the other hand is also playing a C chord. It's an arpeggio actually, look. So very slowly, E with the C, up and down, opposite direction. Similar motion down. So he starts with a bit of contrary, then goes similar motion. Now B flat goes with the C, that creates the C7, dominant 7, E with G. Now we've got this looks complicated, it isn't guys, it's really simple. Little finger on A, hold on to a dear life onto this F. And all it is, look, you come down the scale from A to A. Caterpillar, caterpillar, put your third on the B, spring out the thumb. It's 4 caterpillars. You've got to try and keep the tempo going there. Keep the tempo going in that final semiquaver passage. Those are semiquavers, so it's 1 E and a 2, cross over 3, 1, going tuck up to the G. So it's ta 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 ta. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Caterpillar, 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 1. But you keep it going, look. Quaver, 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 caterpillar, caterpillar, caterpillar. Just take a few moments there. Let's just look at the fingering there. So I'm on my A at the top, look, little finger. I go all the way down to D, cross over to C, 3 then next to the thumb on the B, thumb scoots to the G, up the scale, tuck, finishing on G. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. All the time that F is singing, look. This is muscle memory, this last bit. So you've got to learn that very cleverly, look. Right, now when you finish, hold the G, half a beat later bring the D in, and then you use the 1 and the 2 to play the C and the G there, down to C, and then play the G. Now this is a classic ending, G to G, octave. Okay, lift your hand up, 1 and 4 on the D and the B as you play the bottom G, and then your 2 and your 5 join the bottom C. Okay, so last line, look. similar motion, 4 groups. 1 D, C chord. You can jump down there if you want. Use some, there you go, look. Da, da, G, da, G. That's a 1 C ending. 5, G, and then 1. There we go, all together. When you finish, and not playing a wrong note as I just did, slow up. And it gives you the sense of it being an ending. So there we go, gang. Half an hour, most enjoyably well spent or so, playing through Bach's Prelude in C, BWV939. Thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, can't thank you enough for your time. Please do hit the subscribe button, and if you want to support the channel, head to patreon.com/keyboardskillspro. Please do share this video with friends and family, chuck it onto some other sites. I'm trying to build my channel at this time. And thanks so much for your company today watching. My name's Tom. Check out my website, tomhorton.co.uk, for piano books, organ books and music CDs and lots of other things as well. And we'll catch you soon for another piano lesson, perhaps with another piece of Bach or another composer, who knows. In the meantime, stay well, stay safe, and enjoy your music. Bye-bye.